Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's well. Is anyone here? There may not be anyone here, of course. So, let's get a beer open. So we've got one person in. So, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Brian. Hope you're well. Thank you for having me on your channel last night. So this is just going to be a little one. Basically just a, Merry Christmas to all of you. Obviously, hope everyone is doing well. If anyone is wondering what I'm on, I've got some Leffe Blonde at the moment. Something quite nice and easy drinking. So, how is everyone? Let me know where you are, what you're drinking. Well done, Brian. Was it the microphone on the laptop picking up the speakers by any chance? So, where is everyone? What are you drinking? Are you drinking? So Brian's on his lunch break over in Georgia. So I'm guessing nothing with a percentage on it today. Oh, do excuse the slight flickering of lights. It's the camera on my phone just trying to readjust itself each time. Good afternoon, Paul. I've only got 4 people in at the moment, so where are we all? So I'm sure by now you'll know I'm down here in Somerset. It's been horrendous weather today, but not as bad as yesterday was. Remember to put my glasses on again so I can actually read the comments. The hideous beer, that was a chocolate and orange stout from the Black Sheep Brewery, Brian. Had no real flavour, just the tiniest hint of chocolate and orange, and just a ton of bitterness on the back end. Far too much for a stout, really. I'm glad I moved on to the chocolate orange porter from Lord's Brewery, Sunset Cocoa Bit. That one's called. It's absolutely wonderful. I have reviewed that one, but the video won't go live until New Year's Day. I've done it as part of a special two-parter with the Winter Hill, also from Lord's. Up in Birmingham there, Paul? How is it up there? Are you in tier 2 or the dreaded 3, or worse, gone up to 4? There's Phil. Hello, Phil. How you doing, mate? Yeah, so be a bit longer than my usual videos, so I think it came in at around 15 minutes or so for that one. But then I suppose it is 2 beers I'm reviewing on that one, so it makes sense, doesn't it? So top off this one. I can't stand a half-empty glass. So that's the trouble with Belgian beers. You're down in Andover, aren't you, Phil? What are things like down there? Are you in 2 or 3? Oh, gone up to 3 up there in Birmingham. We've stayed at tier 2 down here. You can say that again, Phil. I suppose a half empty or a half full glass. At least you've got room for more beer, haven't you? Same as us then, Phil. There was a worry that we were going to go up to tier 3, because even though it's not too bad down where I am, for some reason Bristol's been lumped in with us. But luckily they dropped down from 3 to 2. Refill there. Got a few more people in now, so just in case anyone was wondering, just enjoying a Leffe Blonde at the moment. Of course, it's a nice, simple, easy drinker, isn't it? Not too hazy, not too heavy going. Sort of become one of my go-tos for a Sunday afternoon. So anyway, like I say, this is just a short half hour, maybe an hour, just to enjoy a nice Christmas drink with all of my good friends out here in YouTube land, as it were. Yep, same here, Brian. So, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Haven't tried the red or the brown yet, but I am looking for it. Well, I know where I can pick it up, but I'm looking forward to trying it. I've been drinking blonde for years, donkey's years. Oh, beer of the year. That's a tough one. I think, quite possibly, I can find where I put the bottle. There it is. Bear with me 1 second. As I just throw the phone on the floor. Set up again. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So, like I say, my beer of the year. This will spoil it a little bit for my Christmas video. This is one I've reviewed for Christmas Day. But Fuller's Vintage Ale. That is fantastic. It's the first time I've tried one of their vintage ales. This year's one was. Comes in at 8.5%. And it really is a stunning beer. Just for easy to pick up, you know, you can pick it up at lots of different shops anywhere. Well, lots of different Lidls anyway. So it's got to be either the Braveheart Dark, which was part of their beer festival a little while ago, or Luminous Lights. Braveheart Dark's obviously from Loch Lomond, and Luminous Lights is from 71, I think, which was a fantastic beer. It's not actually too bad, Phil. This one comes in at 6.6. So yeah, it's a lot stronger when it comes to Belgians, isn't there? I'm sure we all remember the Devel challenge from a while ago. Skip Phil there. Yeah, always do. That one, right, I got given that as a gift from a good friend of mine at work, but I believe you can pick it up at Waitrose. It does come into, I think, around the £8 mark, but that is £8 worth of beer and more, trust me. And when the video goes live on Christmas Day, so I'm not expecting everyone to sit down on Christmas Day and watch it, but you'll see why I think it's such a good beer. Yeah, they make some fantastic beers, 71 do. They've had some not quite so good, but I've really become a fan of some of these Scottish breweries. Loch Lomond, 71. Some of the Williams Brothers beers are brilliant. Yeah, Zoom Time. Really enjoyed that one. That's a Loch Lomond one, isn't it? It was a nice, easy drinker, I found. Which was went down a bit too quickly, which was a shame because I could have done with another one of those. Yeah, but this year has been fantastic for beers. And just thinking about all the different beers that Lidl have had in. Aldi, not so much, of course. I think the only decent beer at Aldi, they've now changed and effectively ruined, which of course is the Rheinbacher Pilsner, which you think it was £2.99 for a 4-pack. Just seems such a shame that they've ruined it. Yep, Stuart Brewing, fantastic beers from them too. I'm trying to think of one of the best ones I've had from them. I can't think of it at the moment, but they've had some really good ones. I did notice last time I was in our local Aldi that Williams Brothers have got even more out with them now. Some of the ones I've had from Aldi that have been Williams beers haven't been so good. Which, when you think about the beers they do have, which they sell themselves, it's such a shame. But for me, supermarket of the year for beer. Obviously, you can go on about Tesco and Morrison's with the fantastic beers they've had, but excuse me, I think Lidl has to be my beer supermarket of the year this year. Just the ones they've brought out in the last few beer festivals have been unbelievable. Good afternoon, Paul. How are you? Hope you're well. I hope both you and Abby are both well, of course. What are you drinking today, if indeed you are drinking? So, It's the only trouble with a Belgian beer, of course. You end up with froth in your moustache. But that's the pitfalls of a highly carbonated beer, I suppose. Good afternoon, John. I hope you're feeling a bit better than you were, of course. Hopefully a nice curry sorted you out a little bit anyway. I know it always sorts me out. So, here's a question for all of you guys. What has been your beer of the year then? Like I say, for me, the Fuller's Vintage, both Luminous Lights and Luminous Nights, they've been fantastic. And, well, pretty much anything from Loch Lomond. Oh, do excuse Tyrion. It's a dog barking out in the street somewhere. Bear with me. And I dropped my phone again. Right, there we go. I'm upside down a bit there. Hold on. There we are. Oh, apologies for that. Obviously, somebody's going a bit mental again. Where was I? Eggnog ale. That sounds interesting, that's for sure. You'll have to let me know what it's like. I sometimes feel a bit like that after a heavy session. Brian? Oh, thank you for that, Phil. Got the Ginger Londoner, Handsome John, and the Metalhead Vicar. What more do you need on a Sunday afternoon? So, North Star, I really wanted to try that one, and I couldn't get it anywhere near me, which is such a shame. I mean, both our Tesco's and our Morrison's here in Taunton are both really small, so the beer selection isn't great. Tesco's is a bit better than Morrison's, but for the beers they brought out as part of their big launches every so often, hardly anything. Oh, that sounds very nice, Brian. I think I'd probably prefer the stout to the porter myself. I do like a nice stout, of course. As long as it's a nice stout. In my haste to stop Tyrion interrupting everything, I keep knocking things over. You've got that right, John. That's why he had to be called Tyrion. He is a little lion. He's now sat on my lap, and seeing as Shane's taken him out for a long walk today down along the river, I'm getting covered in dry mud, which is fantastic. But it keeps him quiet. It's starting to become that way, isn't it, Phil? He's got to be involved. As they say, never work with children and animals. There he goes again. Yeah, the dream team, Paul. Definitely. I hope I haven't made your head any worse than it was, John. That's the second time I've knocked everything over today. That was a fantastic session yesterday, Paul. Phil was absolutely right there. That's the thing with decent beer. You know, you might get a bit tipsy to begin with, but you don't get any really bad after effects, do you? I know if I've had a night on decent stout, the only thing I have to worry about is the toilet in the morning. Without lowering the tone too much, not like my last live stream, the supermarket tales. They can be a bit black and heavy, can't they? You need a bottle that barks every time you open it, I reckon, John. Oh, he's being a pain in the backside, as always. Yep. Yes, with everything, if you have quality, you've got no after effect, or no bad after effect. Oh, there you go, Phil. He's just seen himself in the camera there. He's not sure what to make of it. Well, thanks for joining in, Brian, and thanks again for having me on last night. It was a nice evening. Shame about the second beer I had, but that's my own fault for just grabbing something that looked a bit Christmassy. So, tip for everyone: don't ever try the chocolate orange stout from Black Sheep. That is vile. Yep. And he'd drink my beer if he could, Paul. Trust me. But don't worry, I'm in charge of things around here. Phil says bye to Brian. I've not had many beers with lactose in. I prefer to get a creaminess from the oat rather than lactose, but some of them are okay. Some of them I'm not a fan of, I have to say. I don't know if it's a frown or more just a look of sheer disdain. He thinks he's in charge of this house. Now, there's an old saying with Tibetan Spaniel owners. Dogs have servants. No, sorry, start again. Dogs have owners. Cats have servants. Tibetan Spaniels have slaves. he just knows what he wants, he does. I think you're right. I think you're right on that one, Paul. I mean, nearly every stout you pick up, you look on the back, and 9 times out of 10, it's lactose, isn't it? I put milk in my tea, not in my beer. I don't know if that's just me, but I think some of them can be quite nice. But for me, it's not the best. Just finish off this bottle. Yeah, it's not always a bad thing, but it has to be done right, I think. If it's not done right, which a lot of the beers I've tried in the last 10, 12 months, lactose hasn't been done in the right way. But It's just my opinion, of course. Obviously, your beers, John, I've yet to have one, but I don't like. So you're obviously doing it in the right way. Yep. You get a nice wheat beer. You get a really smooth mouthfeel, and you can get that nice creaminess from oats. Again, that has to be done right. If it's not, you end up with a glass of cheap rubbish, but well, it just tastes horrible. Yep. Completely agree, John. Because you don't do it too often, you know how to do it right. I used to be a bit like that. I just pick it up and try it, but I'm finding myself, certainly in the last 6 months, really looking at what they've put in. Seeing whether the flavour's coming from the hop or from adjuncts. I'm not saying that adjuncts are a bad thing. Again, when it's done right, it works really well. I mean, so far my favourite darker beer I've had possibly all year has to be Sunset Cocoa from Lord's. And obviously it's got the cacao nibs and the orange in it, but it's done right. I did, Paul. I will I'll go back to it. It does somewhat spoil the big reveal of Friday's video that's coming up, but that one, Fuller's Vintage, which was a gift to me from a good friend at work. That's one of my beers of the year, but also up there's both Luminous Lights and Luminous Nights. Brave Hop Dark, absolutely love that. Got to put Barney's Marshmallow Milk Stout in there, haven't I? That was wonderful. But pretty much anything I've picked up from Loch Lomond, that will always be in the running, as it were. Ooh. That'll be quite nice, John, I reckon. Is that going to be a canned or a bottled beer? I do find Kolsch beers can work very well as a bottled. So the last Kolsch I had was the Fru Kolsch. Got that as part of a German pack that I got from Beer Hunter, I think it was. That was very nice. Yep. Beers, well, it's got so many important things that can go into it. And the ingredients make it what it is. So I have started looking at ingredients more and more often, and I have managed to find better beers because of it. Yep, it was very nice, Paul. I won't give too much away because obviously the review's coming out on Friday, but to have that as a friend just give it to me, say, I think this would be a good one for you to review. I was gobsmacked, to say the least. Never thought I'd be able to get hold of one, not down here anyway. But like I say, fantastic beer. exactly, Paul. And I'm taking for beers that I think are the best beers of the year. I'm definitely taking the price point into consideration as well, because to get a beer of that caliber on the shelf for 180 or so, it is unbelievable. Yep, I know what you mean, John. That's what I found with the fruit Kolsch, because it was more of a lager style Kolsch. It was too pale. It was nice, but it was just a pilsner really. But it's a shame. So hopefully, I'm imagining yours will be even better. Yep, I'll agree with you there, Paul. That is a fantastic beer and perfect winter beer. It's got so much flavour in there, but I'm not gonna give too many of my thoughts on that beer away, because if you want to know what I think about it, you've got to wait till New Year's Day. You two together are terrible. Something about us bearded beer drinkers. We're all nutcases, aren't we? Well, I know I am anyway. I wouldn't want to be any other way. There we go. That's my last glass from that bottle of Leffe. I do have one more bottle, so keep going for a little while longer anyway. So, who else is in? Anyone not drinking? I know Paul from Birmingham, rather than Paul from London, isn't drinking beer at the moment. And obviously Brian wasn't, because he was on his lunch break. What's everyone poured out for themselves today? I think I'd rather be as mad as a box of Mad Squirrel. I haven't yet tried their beers, and I really need to get hold of some. I had 3 mince pies for breakfast today. Nice, healthy breakfast, of course. And you know what? Where we are, yeah, we're tier 2. But right since March, apart from going to work and seeing my one friend who I am in a support bubble with anyway for her, I barely leave the house. Apart from taking Tyrion for a walk, because I don't want that mess on the floor, obviously. Okay, as long as we've got our health, preferably a nice beer as well. What more do we need? Right, I think somebody is ready to go down without barking the house down, hopefully. Not the table. Didn't knock the phone off this time, so. Oh, I think so, you know. It's got pastry that's sort of dough-like, so it's almost a bread. The dried fruits, well, that's like jam, isn't it? So basically it's jam on toast. Can't go wrong, can you? You just imagine Tyrion running around and trying to drink everyone's beers. But you know what? He loves going to the pub. And even now, we walk past some of the pubs that we go to, and he's trying to pull in, because normally for him it's, well, we're going here now, So you can't beat a dog-friendly bar, can you? One of our local pubs, the one that Tyrion does like to pull into, it's called the Rose, down round the corner from me. So we go in there, and one of the ladies behind the bar always has a little bowl of cheese ready for him. Keeps giving him pieces of cheese, bits of roast potato, you name it. But I think that's why he likes going in there. Hey. Right, Ben, Paul, what's your beer of the year? Giving everyone some of mine. See what everyone else thinks is the beer of the year for them. I hate to torment you, John, I really do. But, you know, once you're feeling a bit better, you'll be able to think of few, obviously. Yeah. Can't beat a nice bit of cheese, can you? And anything free is always good. I have got one beer here that isn't LFA, which I will be reviewing. Probably be doing the video for it tomorrow. So I'm going to enjoy this one. Obviously, I've got quite a few videos already filmed and uploaded, so it's going to be a while before it actually comes up, but looking forward to that one. I'll drink that. Oh, somebody's off again. There we go. Tyrion. You know what they say? Sometimes the anticipation is worth half the wait. I can't remember the last time I drank John Smith's. Always found it a bit too thin-bodied for me. But hey, if it's all you've got, it's like me drinking my lagers yesterday. It was in the fridge, so I had to drink it. So, like I said earlier, only coming on for, say, an hour or so. Basically just well, this is our bearded beer guys Christmas party. I'm looking forward to it, John. So that one was part of my last package from you. And obviously I'll review it and let you know what I think. And I do like a dry hop beer. Not tried anything from Omnipollo or Anarchy Brew yet. Do want to at some point. But yeah, Silver Spur, fantastic beer. That's one you can really be proud of, John. Absolutely unbelievable. I think I said when I first reviewed it how lovely it was. You can't go wrong with it. I think Sunset Cocoa has now overtaken Silver Spur as my favourite Lord's beer. Such a fantastic porter. It's so good. Yesterday morning, I went on the website and ordered a whole case of it. I know, that's disgraceful, isn't it, John? Oh, we've dropped down to just 5 people watching. Never mind. Hey, we'll have no fights in this pub. I'm still hoping that somebody up there has got me a sub for Christmas. Don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. I do want to try the Heineken Torp. I don't mind Heineken as a lager anyway, and when it's the proper Dutch Heineken, that's got to be good, isn't it? Oh, you can't cry, John. So I hope everyone's plans for Friday haven't been too much affected by yesterday's announcements. Luckily for us, it was changes nothing. So just me, Shane, and Tyrion at home as usual. But it's just annoying when people can't go and see their families. What sub would anyone recommend for a good price? Well, I have been looking at them myself, and the compact, I think it comes in at around £99 usually, doesn't it? However, I was looking at getting a perfect draft at some point in the new year. I'm not sure which is actually the better one. I'm going to swear now, but it is bloody shit, isn't it? It's not often I swear on one of my lives. Obviously, a very tame swear word, and in real life I swear like a docker, but there you go. I can't go and see my dad anyway because he's not been so well recently. Don't get to see me brother. He's very vulnerable anyway. But but what's the saying at the moment, isn't it? It's stay home to make sure that you see them next year, or something like that, isn't it? Yeah. And obviously the proper Dutch one, it's got to be so much better than what we get over here, isn't it? Yeah, I know what you mean, John. We're not going to see Shane's parents. We're not going to see my dad. my 3 sisters, my brother, but it's a big pile of poo, as they say. There's a few things I could say, but I'm not going to. Oh, this leffe is going down very nicely indeed. So I do think it's a very underrated beer. You know, people often go straight to Hoegaarden because it's got that bigger depth of flavour, or they might go to Devel or something like that. But for me, Leffe, it's a good go-to beer. Yep, that's the main thing, isn't it, John? Make the best of it. You know, it's not going to be the festive season that we would have hoped for, but you do what you can. Oh, Scott's in. Good afternoon, Scott. How's Sam feeling after those pigs in blankets? Yep. Got to do what's right for you anyway, haven't you? I'm not really a Christmas person anyway, but you know, tomorrow's the first day of Yuletide, so I will pour a few beers into my horn and sink them down. That was a good video. You know, Sam's very good for trying it. You know, Scott said how many times he's not a spicy food eater. Yeah. How many of those pigs in blankets did you eat in the end? No, I like spicy food, but there's a limit. Excuse me scratching my beard there. So, top that off a little bit. You're probably right, Paul. I do like Hoegaarden, but it can be quite standard, can't it? Yeah, I quite like Devel, but I will only drink one of an evening. I do like Leffe. Right, so we are coming up to 50 minutes. Well, we've just passed 50 minutes on stream. So I was only coming on for an hour or so. So got to put that one up. I hope that there's some bog roll in the fridge for you, Scott. I really do. So well, why not, Phil, eh? Just a shame that they haven't brought out any veggie stuff. Just watching you guys enjoy yours makes me want to give it a go myself. But never mind. Maybe next year they will. And the pizza looked fantastic. If they did a vegetarian one of those, I'd be well over that. I reckon it gets boring quickly, though, John. I'll completely agree, Paul. Yeah, they're both fantastic beers. You know, I first had Blue Moon, it must be about 3 years or so ago, and I loved it straight away because it reminded me of Hoegaarden. You know, and was it Grimbergen? I had that first in France. Yeah, but all those beers. Don't worry, I knew what you meant. All those beers are fantastic. Yeah. Around here it's Asda that you see the pajamaed folk shopping. I'm gonna put my neck on the line here. I do like German wine. You know, Blue Nun's okay. I can drink that. Black Tower, but glass of Hock or a glass of Lieb. I can drink that any day of the week. I used to drink a bottle of Hock before I went out of an evening. Yeah, we've got that round here. Half the people are in their pajamas and half of them are proper G's, as I'm sure that's what the young people say these days. I'm getting far too old to speak like one of those, but there we go. Right, well, we're coming up to the end of the hour. I did say I'd only be on for an hour or so. Unless there's anything you want to ask me, I'm going to. My mum could do. Yeah, she used to get for a few bottles of German whites. Bless her. Yeah, I'm going to. Oh, good evening, Ray. Oh, good morning for you. Good afternoon. I'm not really sure. 5 hours behind, so it's coming to 5 now. So coming up to lunchtime-ish. Like I say, I'm going to wish you all a Merry Christmas, or for me it would be God Jul. Norse heritage. Get the horn back in its holder. Yeah. And thank you to everyone who did come on. I will be doing another live at some point. Not sure when yet. Probably be Sunday after New Year's, because I'm not working the Monday after. I always have to plan it for around things we're doing, what I'm working, etc., etc. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and above all else, stay safe and happy drinking. See you all soon, hopefully.